live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello.
I am Jarrett, the Football Genius Burgess.
And I'm Stephanie Fitzpatrick, aka the Advantage Coach.
This is episode 103 of the Field to the Real podcast.
Still rocking, y'all.
We in triple digits.
Still rocking. Yes. So I got the privilege of being a part of somebody else starting their podcast.
Oh, yes.
And I'm just excited. So, you know, that like they got their first one in the books and they were so excited. And I was excited for them and it made me think back to us. And like, and that's, you know, started, we were in your kitchen. Doing the first episode. Yep. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah, we made that work. We went out, bought some mics quickly.
Yes, listen.
You know what I'm saying? And like,
you was knocking down your fire.
Modified, yes.
Yeah, because it was beeping.
Long,
like, all that. I remember it distinctly. Like,
Man, the origins of this podcast.
Yeah.
Man, I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just wanted to say that, but it's just it brought memories back thinking of them doing their first one. Of course, they're a little gangster with it, so theirs was a little more. But,
I gotta see that, Frank. I gotta see that first episode. It's gonna their podcast in particular is gonna be one I have to like view. Like I can listen to some and it just be all audio. No, I gotta see
No. You're gonna have to watch them for sure, just to see them and how they act. It's gonna be hilarious. I love it.
When they put out their first one, we'll make an announcement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and you know
for sure.
When they I guess schedule the date of the first
date
one,
for the
we can push that one out
for sure. Absolutely, we're gonna support each other in this podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Shoot, I'm gonna mess around and jump on their production team.
Hello. I'm hoping that they'll say we want you to be on the show.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We mean me or you?
Huh?
You mean me or you?
All of us.
I look. My first thought was you being on the show, and I was like, "Yo, that would be dope."
All of us need to be there at one point in time. Come on.
We're gonna have to get you to come home for that one.
Well, yeah, I'd have to.
Yeah.
That's happening anyway. I'm coming eventually anyway. Yeah. Look like we opening it back up. So.
Oh yeah, we just talked about that.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
No. I ain't saying that like let's put a pause on it, but just everything's opening back up and
we're just gonna keep
covered
in the blood, Jesus. That's all we go. So we covered in the blood. Okay.
Amen.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's jump into this. Who's really right?
Yeah.
And let's start with before we actually dive into the who's really right.
Yeah.
Let's just say like this new COVID brand of the NCAA tournament and the season actually.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I feel about it. Right.
It's an asterisk.
You think so?
I feel like it has to be because, let me not say that because I think back to football, college football. Mm-hmm. And this was almost the same exact scenario that went down with Oregon, right? So, and even at that time, I said it needed to be an asterisk because the team, you know what I mean? Like Anyway, it just kind of feels like, did everybody truly earn their way in?
Yeah. So I look at it like under the circumstances, like some people just aren't going to be able to overcome certain adversities, right? Mm-hmm. And so, okay, the statement isn't totally fair when you think about something like I don't want to mess up his name. I want to say it might be Keontae Johnson from Florida.
The one who passed out? Yes.
Like stuff like that you can't control, right?
No, that's different. Yeah.
But I just mean like the whole mental game of like, you know, like the example I use is I won't even say his name, but so a very well-known commentator or whatever you call him said that the Lakers championship should be called the COVID championship. And that was because nobody really wanted to be in the bubble. And so that's why they won. And he said that particularly the Clippers didn't really want to be there. And since they avoided the Clippers in the Western Conference Championships, that it wasn't a real win for them. Right.
Wow. Somebody really thought up some bull, huh? Okay.
You
because what I know, what you know, what's been said amongst the people, the players, is that was tougher than anything they've ever had to do when it comes to the playoffs. So I don't know. It was like playing AAU basketball.
Right. Well, so the reason I mentioned that is because like the whole mental aspect of, you know, we didn't get a fair shake because, you know, all of this is going on and it was tough for my team to like overcome.
Right.
Like, so I linked those things like, because I think that, you know, that's a part of it, like overcoming, you know, like, okay, we all got to deal with COVID.
Yeah.
Some of us have a little more resources to deal with it than others. And that might be a thing to look at.
Yeah.
But just the whole mental strain of it and the whole, like, you know, it was a task for everyone.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wouldn't put an asterisk beside this NCAA championship, but one of the things that we put down that is very curious to not have Duke nor Kentucky.
Duke and Kentucky, like it don't even feel like it's like literally when I was going through this it just feels crazy, right? Because I'm like, I mean, even though they may not have really, because neither one of them was like
playing
killing it they weren't killing it this year, but you know, I still feel like it just like they almost need to be grandfathered in or something.
Because of the legacies of the program.
Yeah, but I know that's not how it works. But I'm just saying, like, it feels weird when you don't see them.
I'm gonna tell you what I attributed this to, right? Both Duke and Kentucky not being in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with Calipari.
Okay.
So Calipari, his strategy is to go after the one and done players.
One and done, yeah.
Who, you know, have talent out of this world.
Right. Major impact. Yeah.
Right. But not necessarily the experience, which has hurt him in the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like Krzyzewski kind of went towards that lane as well. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about a team like Gonzaga, who has a lot of veteran leadership,
right?
I think in moments like this, where there is some adversity, you need that veteran leadership.
Yeah.
You know, as a whole, and not even just like one senior player who may not be playing a lot or something. Like I'm talking about the core of your team.
Core,
are seniors and they're veteran, and you know, nobody has dealt with a COVID before or anything like this.
Exactly.
But I just mean like any type of adversity. You know, something
this
happening
is not
on campus.
The only adversity we faced, and you know what I mean. Like 9/11 happened.
Right.
All kinds of things have gone on that have been quote unquote like a distraction or something that took away from. So yeah, I get it, but I still feel like I don't know. Like just.
Yeah, no, it's a rough one. Like if you think about a whole, like it's more than what we know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course,
we I mean, obviously we can speculate on some of the reasons of why, you know, a team may have faltered or something like that. Because I looked at that Belmont team, that only lost 3 or 4 games. They had to, they didn't make it to the men's tournament nor the NIT.
Right.
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
what is that about?
Yeah. right?
But this is every year we have this. Why is that every year? Is that those few couple of teams should be like, well, how did they just get snubbed from everything?
Well, so they say it was a strength of schedule thing. I don't think the NIT has a reason not to have them in.
I was gonna say, when did they put strength of schedule in?
Oh yeah, no NIT.
Oh,
okay. I'm talking more about the tournament.
NCAA, yeah.
Because their strength of schedule was so low.
Yeah.
Belmont needed to win their tournament to get into the dance, and they didn't. Yeah. They lost. Yeah. I want to say maybe in the semifinals, which for them, like
that's it.
But you expected them to, with a 26-4 record or 27-4 record, whatever it was, to at least be a part of somebody's postseason.
Exactly. Yeah. Happens every year though. But this is like how we talk about college football and championships and bowl games. This is it amplified to like 100 because of so many teams, right? And so it's just like you can go and make arguments for probably about another 50 teams that probably really could have, like, just based on their records or what I'm saying. So
and ever since they added that little, like, because the play-in games are happening tonight.
Yeah, they happen tonight. Yeah.
Ever since they added those, I feel like that should have alleviated some of it, right?
No, but I think what you said is the key. It's a lot of things we don't know.
True. Yeah.
And so, because my first instinct is to say, oh, it's political, right? It's some sauce, some in the sauce, right?
Right. Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know. We don't. Yeah. I mean, it'll never make sense unless it's something like, well, I was about to say scientific, but even the algorithm, that don't work to me either.
So I think it is scientific. And if we want to compare it to something, you remember like the BCS and how they took all of these factors into and threw them in the computer and say, okay, you guys figure it out, right?
Yeah.
I think they do something similar because I did see like the breakdown of the strength of schedule and some of these other numbers where they got ranked, and Belmont was just really down low in a lot of those numbers.
Right.
And so it's understandable, but like, are they using those numbers to make the decision, or do those numbers generate the pool? Right.
Right.
Like, how, so like right now with the playoffs, the college football playoffs, they use all of those numbers to place the teams into the Final Four,
those four teams that are
right. So it's not like the BCS where it was just the computer was picking the teams.
Right.
They're using what they see from the computer to pick those teams.
Right, but it's a hybrid because they use the computers to get to a certain point, and then they use human knowledge and whatever to like continue that. Yeah. So, but when you put the human part in it, that's where the flaw comes.
So. Yeah. Right.
So
and the other part of that was like when thinking about the BCS, and I'm sorry we spent so much time on this, but
it's okay.
The other part of that was like they felt like the computers weren't taking the eye test into consideration, which is why they don't have eyes. Exactly. which is why they went to the hybrid model of, okay, let's use the computers to make an informed decision based off of what we see.
Yeah.
But we talked about this around in the podcast around that time. Like it was a couple of eyebrows raised about
for sure.
The teams that got in. So
for sure.
Well, so let's jump into our Who's Really Right is actually us picking. Now, are we picking the first round and the second round?
Yeah, we're doing
all the way up to the Sweet 16?
Sweet 16 and the Elite 8.
Okay.
Because they'll play those games this weekend.
Okay.
And then they'll play the
other ones
Final
next
Four and the championship next weekend. So we'll have time to pick again.
Oh, no. That won't be. It'll be Elite 8 in the Final Four, and then that following Monday or Tuesday,
you sure?
National Championship. Yeah.
Okay, because I saw the schedule on the CBS, and I thought it said. Okay. Either way, we still do Sweet 16.
I'm with you. Let me let me put it up. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up. So the championship is April 3rd. The Elite Eight is the 29th and the 30th.
That's all the same weekend.
Yeah. Yep. All right, here. So let's pull it up, and what we'll do is
I got it in front of me. Whatever
choose who we
I'm
got.
ready.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Let's see.
So we're doing Sweet 16, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got to pick the first round first, and then.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
All right. So between Gonzaga and this 16-16 matchup of Norfolk State and Appalachian State, who they're playing tonight. Who you got? You got Gonzaga? Yeah, I got Gonzaga too.
Gonzaga, yeah.
All right, we in the West region, guys. So those of you who are listening and aren't viewing, we actually have the bracket up.
Mm-hmm.
But you can just, obviously if you're listening, you can just listen.
Right.
We're in the West region right now. So we both got Gonzaga for the 1 versus 16, 8 versus 9, Oklahoma versus Missouri, respectively. Who you got?
Oklahoma versus Missouri. I got Missouri.
Okay. I got Missouri too for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you guys, we're not gonna have the same.
They're not gonna all be the same. No.
All right, number 5 versus 12, Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara.
Creighton.
You going Creighton?
Creighton.
I'm going UC Santa Barbara.
All
Ever since, I don't even remember what year it was, but there's always been a 12-5 upset. This is my 12-5 upset.
Okay.
So gotcha. I'm going with UC Santa Barbara over Creighton.
Okay.
The next one is the 4 seed versus the 13 seed, Virginia versus Ohio.
Virginia.
I'm going with Virginia too.
Yep.
All right, 6-11 in the West is USC versus the winner of the Wichita State Drake game.
Well, it don't matter. It's USC.
USC?
Look, I'm sorry, it don't matter. It's
I'm tempted to go Wichita State.
Okay. If they win.
Right. That's I'm like, if I pick them now and they lose to Drake, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset. All right, so I'm gonna go with USC too, because I just don't. All right, so Kansas is the number 3 seed. They're playing Eastern Washington, the 14 seed. Who you got?
Kansas.
I think we're both going Kansas.
Yeah.
All right, now this is the one right here.
Okay.
Oregon as a 7 seed versus VCU as the number 10 seed.
Yeah, I still think Oregon.
I'm going with VCU.
Okay. I love VCU. They always surprise me. They always surprise me, but I don't know. You know what? I did these picks on gut. Strictly on gut. Strictly on gut this time. Strictly on gut. I looking at numbers and all strictly on gut.
Yeah, you couldn't do it that way.
No, not this time. Because I feel like, we've had that conversation. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. So the last game in this region is the number 2 Iowa versus number 15 Grand Canyon.
Iowa.
Yeah, I think we both going Iowa with that one. All right, let's jump to the South.
Okay.
Region. Number 1 versus number 16, Baylor versus Hartford.
Oh, Baylor.
Yeah, I think we both got Baylor there.
Yeah.
8 versus 9, North Carolina versus Wisconsin.
North Carolina.
I'm going Wisconsin.
Okay.
I
lived in this state. I'm not getting in trouble.
Yeah, you might be in some trouble with that.
Yeah, I'm good. North Carolina. Mm-hmm.
All right, 5 versus 12, Villanova versus Winthrop.
Villanova. Even though, let me give a shout out to Winthrop.
Yeah.
Because that's another North Carolina. Yeah. Okay. Shout out. Yeah. Shout out.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't know what Winthrop was. Huge. Yeah. No, listen. Well, maybe it's strength of schedule that has them as the number 12 seed, but they're 23-1 this year.
Yeah. No, they've done an amazing job. It's just,
You know what? Yeah. I was about to pick with my heart and go with Villanova.
Yeah.
One of these 12-5 seeds is going to hit. I got to take Winthrop over Villanova.
Okay.
This might be the real upset.
Okay. I got an upset too, so I get it. Okay. Yeah. All right. 4 versus 13, Purdue versus North Texas. Purdue.
I'm going Purdue too. I have no idea what North Texas looks like. I'm not even going.
It don't even matter.
I'm not even going to research. All right, 6 versus 11. Texas Tech versus Utah State.
Texas Tech.
I'm going with Texas Tech too.
Yeah.
3 versus 14. Arkansas versus Colgate.
Arkansas.
I'm gonna go Arkansas too. I don't know if Colgate can pull this one off, but I mean, it's good to see that they came out of the Ivy League because I think this might be the first time
they always have a sleeper too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 7 versus 10. Florida versus Virginia Tech.
This one was tough for me, but I'm gonna just stick with my gut on this and say Florida.
Mm-hmm. I'm going VTech.
Okay.
I gotta go VTech.
Okay.
2 versus 15. Ohio State versus Oral Roberts.
Ohio State.
All right, yeah, I think we both there. All right, let's jump to this East bracket.
All right.
1 versus 16 is Michigan versus the winner of Mount St. Mary's. Shout out to Maryland. And Texas Southern.
Michigan.
Yeah, I think we both want Michigan. 8 versus 9, LSU versus St. Bonaventure.
St. Bonaventure.
I'm going with the Bonnies.
You too? That was my upset. I'm like,
that was your upset?
No, I just feel like they're gonna do it.
Yeah. I like that conference. I just like the brand of basketball that they play.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like they gritty. Like it's something about it's
right.
Out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. 5 versus 12.
Mm-hmm. This is my upset, baby.
Colorado versus Georgetown.
Georgetown.
You going Georgetown?
I'm going Georgetown. I'm gonna ride with them boys. I'm sorry. I'm riding with them.
Listen,
I'm riding with them.
You know they right there in the heart of DC, and
well,
picking
that
them
ain't
would be
why
me.
I'm riding with them, but
picking them would be me picking with my heart.
Yeah.
And even though I called the 12-5 upset for the last 2, I'm gonna be upset if this one goes because I gotta go with Colorado.
Okay.
All right. 4 versus 13. Florida State versus UNC Greensboro.
Florida State.
Okay. Florida State too.
Even though, again, it's kind of like, y'all forgive me.
All right, so 6 versus 11. This is a curious one because the 11 seed,
it was tough to pick.
Yeah, because Michigan State or UCLA obviously can win that game. I went with Michigan State winning that game and beating BYU.
Me too.
Yeah, so I got the 11 seed winning in this bracket.
Yeah.
Or in this region, excuse me, the East. All right, so number 3, Texas versus number 14, Abilene Christian.
Texas.
I'm gonna go with Texas too. Go with Texas too. Oh, now this one really picking with my heart.
Baby. This tough right here, baby.
Number 7, UConn versus number 10, Maryland.
I gotta go with UConn. I can't go against them. I'm sorry.
I'm going Maryland.
I know you are.
Maryland got the freshman of the year. And if he shows out in this tournament like he should have done in the Big Ten tournament, then they might make it to the
shoulda, woulda,
to the right. All right, so the last one of this region is number 2 Alabama versus number 15 Iona.
Alabama.
This one's gonna be closer than I think what either the record suggests or the seeding. I think Alabama may squeak it out at the end though. So I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Alabama, yeah.
All right, the last region, Midwest.
All right, this is it for me right here. You know, this is where my bread and butter is.
Illinois versus Drexel. That's 1 versus 16.
Illinois.
Okay, I'm going Illy too.
Yeah.
Loyola, the number 8 seed versus Georgia Tech, the number 9 seed.
I gotta go with my boys.
You gotta go Tech.
Gotta go Georgia Tech. I'm
going with Loyola Chicago.
Okay.
I mean,
it makes sense, but I can't do it.
You're right. All right. Wait. Oh, okay. I was looking at it wrong. The 5 versus 12, Tennessee versus Oregon State.
Tennessee.
I'm going Tennessee with that one too. 4 versus 13, Oklahoma State versus Liberty.
Yeah, this is my alma mater too, but I'm gonna have to go with Oklahoma State.
You know Oklahoma State? I'm going with Liberty.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking Liberty in the upset. I got a lot of upsets.
You got a lot of but you do know this is how you got in trouble when we were doing this for the NFL, playoffs? Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is how you got in trouble, right? So okay.
Nah, I think this one might be good. I might be all right with this one.
Okay.
6 versus 11, San Diego State versus Syracuse.
Syracuse.
So you know what? And I was looking at that and I was like, it's really easy to go with this big name.
That ain't even why. Like, but yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, so like I haven't watched much of, I was just talking about for myself, I haven't watched much of San Diego State. So, you know, and just looking at the bracket, like it'd be easy to say, oh, let me just take Syracuse.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about the conference that San Diego State plays in and who they play against. And to be 23-4 in that conference, that means they played some basketball this year. I think I'm gonna have to go with San Diego State.
Okay.
So 3 versus 14 is West Virginia versus Morehead State.
West Virginia.
This is the scary one for me, the scariest of them all. I'm gonna go with West Virginia. It's
probably the
too.
most evenly matched. Like,
yeah,
it even though their seedings don't look like it, they're probably the most evenly matched team. I feel
like the NCAA does that. I feel like they do that
on purpose to eliminate one of them teams to make sure. Yeah,
right.
Because they might take and run with it.
I don't think that we've ever seen an NCAA tournament where in the first 2 rounds, all of the higher seeds, progress.
No.
So it's like they put these matchups in there, and I think they think to themselves, and it's almost like a thing especially with the 5 to 12 matchup. It's like, let me put the 12 seed in there to knock off a 5 seed. Yeah.
And it's the drama. It's what makes draw people to watch. Those Cinderella stories, those underdog stories, like that's what make people watch. So that's part of why they do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with West Virginia though with this one. I'm scared though. I'm scared. That's gonna mess up my bracket. Watch it. It's gonna be the one that mess up my bracket too. Watch. All right, 7 versus 10 is Clemson versus Rutgers. I was just about to say, I gotta go with the up north school.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, a lot of these, like, I didn't even want to pick Alabama because a lot of these football schools, they don't tend to be the best in basketball, right? But yeah. I'm just
Nah, that's real because I think the ACC was kind of weakened a little bit by a few like shifts and
for sure.
I'm going Rutgers.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen enough of either of these last 2 teams to call it. I seen Houston lose a heartbreaker a few weeks ago.
I was gonna say, but they were in it, like so. That's why I picked them. Honestly.
So 2 versus 15, Houston versus Cleveland State. You going Houston?
Houston.
I think I got to go with Houston too.
Yeah.
We
were only off by a few.
Huh?
We only were different by a few.
Yeah, I'm about to say we for the most part we had a good bunch of them. But it's kind of
easy in this first. It's kind of easy to see where things are going in this first. You know what I mean? Right. Like, you kind of know. Like, it's kind of like the first game of the season for college football. They always play like some team that they know they're going to drag. The Power 5 teams play somebody. They know they're going to drag. So it's kind of, not to disrespect these teams, but some of this is just like it's some of that is like this. Like, really?
True.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
Okay.
You guys share your brackets with us if you want to post them on IG and
we love to see.
Tag us in it.
Let's see.
We'll got post ours.
Close.
Do you have yours virtually? Like, can you email it to me?
I will do it virtually so I can. I just wrote mine down. Like I was just writing.
Yeah. So I'm what I'm gonna do is I'll post both of ours on the IG page, and that way you guys can go back and see our picks, and you can tell me that I'm never who's really right.
This is interesting though, because it's so many. Like, really, I think it's not even a who's really right as much as a who's closer.
Who's closer? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's so many different picks.
Yeah, it's so many. So it's more like a who's closer. Yeah.
That was 32 picks.
Yeah.
That we just made.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we didn't go to Sweet 16.
Nope. I thought you were like, well, we just not gonna do it.
Nah, you know what? Well, after doing that, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, so well, you know what?
You ain't gotta say them all. Just say who playing who. Don't you just say who playing who and just do them.
It'll be because both of ours looks different. Like you'll have to go through yours that you have written down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go.
So you want me to just say?
Yeah. So just say your teams that you have in the Final Four. I mean, the Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16. Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Gonzaga, Virginia, Kansas, Oregon, Michigan, Georgetown, Michigan State, and UConn. Baylor, Villanova, Arkansas, Florida, Illinois, Tennessee, Syracuse, and Rutgers.
Okay. Oh, Rutgers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm rocking with them boys.
Okay. So I got Gonzaga. I have Virginia. I have Kansas. Mm-hmm. I have VCU.
Mm-hmm.
I have Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where am I? Wait, okay, Michigan. Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Texas.
Okay.
Maryland.
Of course. Surprise, surprise.
Baylor, Winthrop.
Okay. Okay, Winthrop. Okay.
Texas Tech.
Okay.
Ohio State.
Okay.
Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
San Diego State.
Okay.
And Houston.
All right. So this is where we really split off.
Right.
Because we didn't have a lot of like this time.
Same, yeah. We didn't have a lot of the same ones for Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it's split. Yeah, this is exciting. Like this part is fun.
Yeah.
Like this is fun. So
all right. So you guys, please share your brackets with us. Post your bracket on your IG and tag us in it. We'll post ours and you guys can go through and look at it and check it out and everything.
Yeah. Listen, that was the show, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Right.
We literally just took up almost an hour.
Yo, I was looking and I was like, that's why I was like, I had started mentally like, okay, we transitioning past who's really right. And then I looked and I'm like, oh no, we didn't even do Sweet 16 yet.
No. Yeah. We'll see y'all next week though. No,
right. Oh man.
Oh God.
All right. So now that Drew Brees has finally retired.
Yeah.
He's finally retired, and on the way out of the door in New Orleans, he gave the Saints a gift by structuring his deal that it stretches out past his retirement so that he doesn't lock up the cap for the Saints, which was, I mean, you only expect him to do something like that.
Right. I mean, he is giving back to the team that gave to him because he was essentially nobody else would have given him a shot at the time when he came, right?
Yeah, he was. Well, so he had that one good year with San Diego, right? And that's when they made the decision to stay with Phillip Rivers, who they had drafted, because they didn't think that Drew Brees was going to turn into what he turned into. But
exactly,
But
then he got hurt. That was the part that
shoulder.
Hurt him.
Was it the shoulder?
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. And so the Saints took that.
That chance.
Sean Payton is a genius for that.
Yeah. So yeah. He's indebted to them, and I know that's what it is. So I appreciate, and you're right. He would do that, right?
So what do we think the Saints are going to be without Drew Brees?
Trash.
Really?
No, I'm not going to say. Okay, because you know my personal.
I know how you feel. I know.
But no, they're not. They're not going to be trash. But so the part that's concerning to me is Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Jameis Winston, because here's my thing. Mm-hmm. They got such great pieces, right? Around him. He's got the dream team essentially around him, right? You got Alvin Kamara, you got Michael Thomas, you got pieces, right? You've got some pretty nice pieces around you. Which you had in Tampa Bay too. So again, I'm gonna say what I'm saying. Right. I don't know that matters when, and I hate to say it like that, but it's just, I don't know if he's going, those are some big shoes to fill. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like Cam Newton going to the Patriots kind of thing. Yeah. Like, are you really ready to fill those shoes? Like, and so I just don't know, because the one thing is quarterback is touching the ball every play. Yeah. Unless y'all do trick plays, which they do. But I mean, in general, quarterback is, so he is the decision maker on the field. So if he isn't on point, nothing else matters. This man had Mike Evans and Chris. He had all of the pieces that Tom Brady just went to the Super Bowl and won with.
Wait,
other than Antonio Brown and Gronkowski.
So, in fairness, he passed for the most passing yards last year. Now, he threw for 33 touchdowns. He just threw 30 touchdowns to the other team. I mean, he didn't throw 30 to the other team. He threw 30. He threw 30 interceptions, but he threw maybe like 15 to the other team, 15 touchdowns to the other team. I think that when we look at what's his name, the head coach,
Sean Payton?
Not Sean Payton, the head coach for the Bucs.
Oh, Bruce Arians.
When we look at Bruce Arians' offense, because he's a no risk it, no biscuit type of coach, and he wants his quarterback to let it fly, which he went away from. If we look at the last few weeks of the season,
correct. Well, you ain't got that kind of quarterback. Bro.
Exactly. Right. I think that Jameis Winston has the opportunity to be more successful in the system than he was under Bruce Arians, but I don't think he's going to be the starter.
You think it'll be Taysom Hill?
I think Taysom Hill is going to be the starter.
Interesting.
But the unfortunate part about this Saints team is I don't think their woes will be due to losing Drew Brees. They lost quite a few pieces on the defensive side of the ball, starting
which is where their bread and butter was.
Exactly.
Really. Yeah.
So that's the part for them I'm afraid of. I think they'll be fighting to be the third. I think they'll be fighting to be the third team in that division.
The
NFC South.
Yeah. Because we know who'll be number one.
Oh, you mean Tampa?
We know who will be number one.
Yeah, Lord.
So Tampa will be number one for sure.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. So okay. Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah. All right. I'm anxious to see too, though.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. It's a whole bunch of stuff I'm anxious to see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's jump to this House of Athlete Combine.
Yes.
And the effects of this combine.
Listen, when I tell you, I was so hyped up about this. When it happened, I was so hyped up.
Oh, I know. I remember. You texted me. You was like, you ain't watching this, right?
Oh, my gosh. Like, I was just so hyped up. Like, this is the best thing popping right now. Yeah. And so, for you all who don't know, Brandon Marshall, who is the founder, owner of House of Athlete in Florida, where he trains some of the most elite athletes in the world, basically, not just the country, the world. Mm-hmm. But he has, he took it upon himself to kind of bring in a class of some of the football players, college football players who were looking to go to the NFL next year in this draft that's coming up this year. And so he brought them in. They like literally stayed on a campus. They trained, they ate, everything was done to make them elite athletes, right? Based on the science and his beliefs and the things that he knows have worked to make him essentially a Hall of Fame football player, right? And so those guys came in, bought in, and when they said, oh, well, we're not having an NFL combine, he was like, well, what can I do? And so what he did was he put together his own combine showcase with those guys that he had trained. And he brought in the people who actually keep the numbers, the measurements, the speed, all of those things, the data basically that they do for the combine. He brought them in so that it would be legit. They legitimized it, right? And so it was a great showing. And they did a great job. But I said it when it happened, like, this, because it's gonna be a whole bunch of, you know how people do. It'll be other people who will say, well, I can do this too. And so I feel like it's about to have an effect on the NFL combine that's going to be different, right? Because one in particular, Eric Stokes. If you saw the combine, then you know Eric Stokes is University of Georgia. Safety or cornerback, and he ran like a 4.24, 4.25, 4.26, something like that. So pro day for him was this past week. Same numbers.
Yeah, I'm about to say he ran the same numbers.
Same numbers. So wasn't anything cooked up, no bit, you know what I mean? Like it was legit and they were able to see it again. And I feel like between that and pro days, we might not need a combine.
Well, so, you know, when we had discussed this a couple of weeks ago, I think that because the combine, there's so many things that happen there. Like even if people started to have like these little smaller combines, which I sent you that article about this new Black college all-star game. Actually,
the bowl.
The bowl, I found the Legacy Bowl. I found out that actually wasn't new. It was just something that they had discontinued, and now the NFL is taking over that part, which is goes to the NFL.
Yes. Okay.
But so my idea, as soon as I saw that, was they should have a Black college combine for all of those, you know, those draft eligible players who, you know, at least that they believe have the opportunity to make it in the NFL and have a combine for them, because a lot of those players don't get invited to the regular combine.
Right.
But so what I said about the combines is, even if, you know, you see them pop up regionally, they would essentially turn into a glorified pro day, right? Because the combine is one place where all of the NFL scouts, GMs can come. I don't think that that'll ever be usurped, but I do think, given opportunities for some players that don't get invited to the combine, it being kind of like a middle ground, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or
have the
what
NFL
about the
combine.
ones who just choose that that's what they want to do? Like they would choose to do a combine through House of Athlete
as opposed to going to the NFL. Well, depending on the player that would do it, it would be the player that would make that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Because if all of the top players say, hey, I ain't really fooling with the NFL combine, I just don't like all that other stuff, I just want to run and this, that, and the third, I'm going over here with Brandon Marshall. Best believe that that's what the NFL scouts and the GMs and stuff are going to do. So I think that would be kind of the determining factor of whether it gets bigger than what the NFL combine can provide. But I think ultimately, because of it, I was looking for something comparable, but I'm just thinking about, you know, because it's a one-stop shop with the NFL combine, it'd be tough to like jump over that. You know, because we were looking at like some of the things that happened during the weekend, and it's more than just, you know, them running and, you know.
The skill stuff is not all it's about.
Evaluations and
Oh yeah, the stuff they really don't want to do anyway.
Right, so. right. So I mean, I do see a scenario where a lot of them like would be like sort of like. So this was the comp that I was thinking about, sort of like, you know, players who know they're going to the NBA saying, "Look, I ain't fooling with college for that 1 year. Let me go play professionally overseas or something like that."
Right.
You know.
Yep.
So yeah, I do see a path like where that would be, you know.
I'm just saying, I love it. Yeah. I'm here for it.
I am too, because I mean,
I love it.
I feel like the NFL routinely gets it wrong. So I think that introducing someone else who knows how to evaluate talent,
yeah,
you know, them having a platform themselves is awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it just, I mean, so the thing that I think of like these kids that Brandon Marshall had, it's almost like an allegiance.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. I've trained here. If you're going to have a combine, I'm going to just be at your combine. Right. I'm not going to have to go to that one. I'm going to just go to yours and because it's an allegiance. I've been here training with you for, what do they say, 12 weeks, something like that. So, yeah.
Well, you know, so that part isn't a new thing. Like, you know, players have always gone to like different, you know, places to train. And to your point, I think that those people like your athletes' performance in Arizona and in California, and I think they may have another place now, but also like your Chip Smiths in Atlanta or Metro Atlanta, who have these really big facilities where they have players come in and train with them in the same way that they went down to House of Athlete and trained with Brandon Marshall or, you know, his team. They may be the ones who need to take on these combines because they're the ones
That's
getting all those players to come and train and to work out. So
that's what I mean. It's a win-win for them, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
more exposure.
Just put on your own little combine, and they go stay because they got an allegiance. It's almost like a team. It's that team feeling, right? Yeah. Like, oh, this the House Athlete team. This the Chuck Smith team, like that kind of thing, right?
True. Yeah.
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 So it's interesting. It's
really
interesting. The man is brilliant. That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Brandon Marshall. Shout out to all of them there at House of Athlete. Yes. I think that, you know, because I feel like she does the merch, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to all of them because I was looking at the whole date night episode and like she ain't having it. Like it ain't all going to Brandon.
Oh no. I'm gets my shine. I've been letting him shine for all these years. I'm gonna get my shine.
Yeah.
For sure. Love it. Love every piece of it.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yes.
Let's get on to the mad scientist though.
This your story right here.
You know this my story.
This your story because you're the businessman of this group. The football genius. Come on.
So before we started this podcast and I looked over the notes, I thought that $146 million in guarantees that Bill Belichick gave out was an astronomical number that I don't think that we had ever seen before. And then before we get started, to hear that number ballooned to 232 is incomprehensible. Like for Bill Belichick.
For him, yes. He's going all out.
I think Bill Belichick heard us chirping, right?
Yeah.
About, Tom Brady didn't need Bill Belichick. And
it's big time.
It was Tom Brady that was, the engine making that thing run.
Well, till you prove him wrong, that's what it looks like.
I think that this is Bill Belichick saying, y'all better stop playing with me.
He going all out, baby.
One of the things that I see that they're doing with these deals, right? And, we talked about this is what happened with Dak's deal. So on paper, Dak's deal looks like a 4-year deal worth 140 million?
Somewhere in there.
4 years, 160 million?
160 million.
Because it was 40 million a year.
Yep, 160 million.
Well, that contract is really 6 years, right? But there are 2 voidable years on the back end.
Right.
But you're able to stretch the money all across the 6 years, and you can decide playing with the salary cap when these players see the bulk of this money.
Right.
And I think that giving Bill Belichick the ability to do that, which I believe this thing is about to get abused because of COVID, was dangerous. So one thing that, I heard that kind of like brought it back a little bit was that Patrick Chung decided to retire. But if you look at the players that Bill Belichick got, I don't know if they're necessarily like the Patriot way players, but it appears that those are the players that he goes after. I feel like Matt Judon might be a Patriot way type of guy.
He came from, you got some,
right. But the fact that he went and got 2 tight ends, he went and got 2 tight ends in this draft, which is, we know that the offense that I never say his name right. I always mix his name up with somebody else, but the offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
Oh, Jason. Why? Never mind. Just keep going. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Yeah.
He loves 2 tight end personnel, which is you think back to
that was their bread and butter.
Yeah,
you had Hernandez and Gronkowski.
Gronkowski.
Yeah.
So and nobody thinks that Cam Newton is Tom Brady, but
he ain't trying to be Tom Brady
at all. Having 2 tight ends, 2 reliable tight ends, is going to be huge for Cam Newton. And I look for him to have, this is a big statement.
Okay.
I look for him to have an MVP type season next year.
I hope so.
I think he's a year removed from the surgery. I think he'll have another year, like in a full off season from the COVID.
Because he had COVID.
Yeah, he did. In a full off season to really dig into this offense and understand, understand. Like I don't think
some training camp. How about that?
I don't think people understand how difficult it is to learn an offense or a defense. A defense might be a little less difficult depending on the defensive coordinator, but learning an offense is not easy, and not even just for a quarterback.
Right.
You could be a slot receiver.
Right. You
could be an offensive lineman, because learning.
That's why you see a lot of people who don't get to the field because they can't learn the.
You got to win. You got to win in the classroom in football before you can win on the field.
That's right. That's why all of your studies are. If you're a student athlete and you're listening to this, that's why it's important that you build study skills with the schoolwork that you have now, because they still play a part in your success at the next level. Just right.
Just
so you know.
Yes. But this, I mean, this is huge by Belichick, and I'm glad he did it. Recently he's been missing in the draft.
Yeah, well,
he's been
that
missing
ain't never
in the
his
draft.
thing, really. No.
Yeah, so. but he's a great evaluator of talent, which is once these players get in the league and he says, okay, I can see.
I gave you a few years or a couple of years to see. Okay, you can come. Yeah, but that's how he operates.
and I'm actually picking them to win the division next year.
Over the Bills?
I'm picking them over the Bills, and definitely over the Miami Dolphins, because I'm not even going to speak about the Jets.
Well, who said the Dolphins was? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, so the Dolphins kind of made a jump last year, right? And even though they didn't make it to the playoffs,
they ain't make that big a jump.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah.
It wasn't that big a jump.
Well, so I guess one of the big things I was thinking about was that their defense played well last year.
Yeah.
It's just, quarterback play. They decided to go against Fitzmagic. And
shout out to Fitzmagic in DC.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but
that's my cousin. So.
Yeah, right. That's my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
No, but they, one of the moves that they made that I didn't understand, even though I do understand everybody trying to get under the salary cap and make moves to free up salary cap room, was they just gave Kyle Van Noy a big contract. It was a 4-year contract. But I think it might have been before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even if it was after, he only played 1 year into that deal, and he did tremendous on the field and in the locker room for that team. And I just don't get why they got rid of him. I don't know if they feel like they're going to go in the draft and get someone cheaper. But, like, you can't get rid of locker room guys, like glue guys.
Well, apparently you can.
I mean, and it's not as if he was overvalued. He earned that. He earned that money on that contract, you know.
Listen.
But he just signed back with the Patriots, so.
Everybody's not a good evaluator of talent.
That's true.
When I say that, I don't just mean on the field.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just a good evaluator of value. Let me say it like that.
Right.
Because sometimes it's that veteran leadership. It's that somebody who, you might not be a veteran, but you're just a great leader, or you're, it's awesome motivator, or you got a nasty streak in you that needs to spark the team. Like, you got to be able to evaluate and see all of those little pieces, because they all are necessary for your team to be good, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but Belichick, listen, he is the mad scientist. There is a something to cooking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's all motivated by ego, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Because now you got to prove yourself. Because Tom, not only did he go and did he win, he won the Super Bowl with another team, bro. So now
MVP.
And it's no way. So there's this talk about whether it's Belichick or Tom. Like, now you got to prove yourself, bro.
It feel like
the ego is on 10 because he got to prove himself at this point.
Right.
Yeah, what money we got, spend it.
Right. No, spend all of it. Spend it all. Don't save none of it.
So literally, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what the mad scientist pulls off this year.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I'm excited about football. Yeah. Like, I really am. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. All right. On to the real.
Yeah.
And this onto the real, this should be familiar to all of you.
Everybody, look,
Right.
Everybody know me. Like,
even if you don't look at football, or you never, like, this guy has such a big personality that he eclipsed the sport.
Yeah.
So our onto the real spotlight this week is Deion Sanders.
Yeah, for sure.
And at least part of it, if not the majority of it, is for not just saying I'm going to go to an HBCU and try to turn it around and put it on that next level, but following through.
Hello.
He put and I remember people questioning him about it.
Right.
Why
that? I'm sure you got some offers from some Power 5 schools or some. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he went about it. He did it, and he's carrying it in a very professional way.
A very Deion way.
Yeah, right.
Very Deion way. Like,
it's funny because I watch all those little videos that he puts out.
My gosh.
On YouTube with the team, and you had to see when their uniforms came in. And he was just going through talking about, because his motto is you look good, you feel good, you feel good.
Right. Of course.
So he was going through the because they're now sponsored by Under Armour. But he was going through, like, the combinations of the uniforms, and he was just getting so hype about it. And I was like, man, I can't wait to see these jokers play.
Okay. Yes. So he has done. It's such a great example of intentionality.
Yeah.
To me, he was intentional about picking an HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be the quote unquote underdog. So that he could show the true value in what he brought. Like, that's just his personality. Like, underestimate me so that I can, intercept you 5 times in the game. That kind of thing.
Right.
So that same mentality he had when he played is what he's taken, and that's how he's approached this. And I love it.
And one thing I want to mention is the big thing of him putting, like, this ain't something that I'm not going to practice what I preach. Mm-hmm. I got my kids to transfer in.
Exactly. Like, exactly. Right. And your kids is not slackers. Nah, so yeah.
At all.
So yeah.
I appreciate, as a Cowboy, when he was a Cowboy, and
he was a Falcon first. Come on, stop playing.
Yeah, no. I liked him when he first came in the league. My thing is when he went to San Francisco for that 1 year, won the Super Bowl, then he took his behind down to Dallas and then won the Super Bowl the next year. I was hating.
No, I wasn't hating. Cool. I mean, I've been a fan of Deion's. I didn't like the Cowboys, but I like Deion. Like that was it. Like I still liked you, Deion, but
it's kind of like that Steph Curry factor for me. It's like it's hard not to like him, but you play for the Golden State Warriors.
Come on. Speaking of my baby Steph, he been lights out.
Yeah, he been lights out.
Lights out.
Yeah. But shout out to Deion, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
For taking on this challenge and being all in with it, because people were very critical of him taking this position and wondering like, oh, is this like what the kids say now, is this a clout chase?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so
no.
I'm glad that he's proven them wrong.
Absolutely. And anybody who doesn't know, ESPN Saturday or Sunday, which one?
Sunday, I think this week.
Sunday they play on ESPN. I believe it's at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Yeah.
So check it out if you can.
Give them some TV time, please. Yeah. Watch.
Check them out because these
they've
ESPN,
been romping people.
Huh?
They've been romping.
Yeah. Well, they definitely beat up on Mississippi Valley.
Oh, that was ugly.
It was
ugly. So ugly. Yeah.
And I think they tore up Edward Waters. They played a close one against who was that? Was that Prairie View that they played?
Mm-hmm. That was their first game, wasn't it?
No, Edward Waters was the first one. The second game was Prairie View, I think, and that one was a pretty close game. Yeah, actually, as the time was coming down, I was like, oh, they about to lose this joint.
Yeah,
but they came back and squeaked it out, which is the mark of a good team.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah.
Good stuff, sir.
Yes. All right, feel good final thought. Now, we had this one on ice because as soon as I saw this joint, I sent it to you and was like, feel good final thought.
Yeah.
But I think you're gonna have to say her name because I
Maia Chaka.
Chaka, okay.
Maia Chaka.
I didn't want to mess up her name, but
Maia Chaka.
She's she is the first Black African American NFL referee.
Such dope.
She went to Norfolk State University. Mm-hmm. And she had been working, I want to say maybe somewhere down there in the Tidewater area as a physical education teacher.
Yeah, in Virginia Beach Public.
Virginia Beach, yes.
Yep.
And so she had went on to referee games and started in high school, started refereeing games in college.
Pac-12.
Yes, Pac-12.
Pac-12 and Conference USA.
Yes. Okay. And then she got the call to be in the NFL's referee training program, which I won't use this time to speak about that. But so she got she got invited into that program, and so coming out of it, because that's the weed out process. They get rid of some of those referees because they just aren't up to it.
Right.
So for her to make it,
and
for her to make it and to become an NFL referee is so dope.
Yeah.
And I
love it.
One thing I'm gonna always remember is when we had Stephanie on the show, and I might say something to the effect of, man, why are we still having first at this point? But what she said was celebrate the wins.
That's it.
And
that's what we're gonna do.
This a win. We're gonna celebrate it.
That's right. And that's what she said. So her statement was, I'm honored to be selected as an NFL official, but this moment is bigger than a personal accomplishment. It is an accomplishment for all women, my community, and my culture.
Yeah.
That's it right
here. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, ma'am. That's it.
Right. So shout out to Mike.
Drop the mic. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Absolutely. Love it. And it's still Women's History Month, so it's really we still gonna be that's really dope. So she made history. She gets to be in the books now, right? Yeah, love it.
First Black NFL referee.
Yeah, love it. Can't wait to see it. Yeah.
All right, show picks. What you watching?
So, for a minute I had kind of walked away. Well, stopped watching my HGTV shows and stuff, waiting on new seasons because of COVID just kind of took all of the stuff away. You were watching the same, but they're back.
Yeah.
And so there's this show. This is the second season, and it's called Rock the Block. And so it's a competition amongst some of the top stars of HGTV. And so they come on and they're given a home, and each person, and this year it's couples, is given a home that they then get to use their own design style to design both the whole inside and outside. And so they do week by week, they pick a particular part of the house that they get to design. And I am just in love with this show because two of my favorite couples, Nate and Jeremiah, and Mika and Brian from 100 Days, they build houses in 100. They'll build a brand new house from the ground up in 100 days.
Whoa.
That's what they do. That's like their business.
Wow. Yeah. That's
it. Yeah. And so then Nate and Jeremiah, Nate Burke is if you know the name, he was on Oprah all the time because he was a designer for Oprah, and he would do home makeovers for Oprah. So he also has his own line, which I happen to love, of things out there in the world. He's a kind of a high-end designer. So but I love this show.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Just watching the different styles. It's amazing. Rock the Block.
Yes. When we talked about this yesterday, I told you about how I it might not be known, but I used to love me some HGTV.
Yeah.
And I used to watch all the little shows.
Yes.
And I'm a fan. Like I want to say one of my favorite shows was Homes on Homes. Homes on Homes.
He's on the show.
You told me that,
Yeah, him and Victoria, they are partnered up. Holmes and Victoria are partnered up, so they are a couple on there too. So he's such a rugged, rough dude. So, he kind of scary to me. He make me think about the dude from the cooking show. Why can't I think of his name? The Crazy Man.
Oh yes.
The chef show, like
I can't think of
Top
his name.
Chef. What is the show?
No, I know who you're talking about. And I see his face, but I cannot think of his name.
He scared me. Like literally, he scares me. Like I would not want to be anywhere near him because he would just no, he scares me. Like real talk.
Yeah.
So that's it.
All right. So I am watching the Tiger Woods documentary. And I won't give it away, but I will say I think this documentary shows why he is the way he is. All of it. I don't mean just in a positive way or in a negative way. I think this shows the entire picture of why Tiger Woods is the way that he is. That still ain't doing for you.
My mama said. My mama said.
You ain't got nothing nice to say.
Don't have nothing nice to say. Don't say anything at all. Or my prophetic mother said, put something in your mouth so you don't say.
Get you a sip of water. Man. Yeah. That's it. At the end of another one?
Yeah.
103.
103.
All right, y'all out there. If y'all want to reach out to us, certainly hit us up on our email account. Field the number 2 the real podcast at gmail.com. Lord mercy.
Hey, look, it's been a long day. I don't know about you.
On IG, hit us up at Field the number 2 the real podcast. If you want to hit us on Twitter, hit us at Field the number 2 the real P1. go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, comment, like, share, subscribe, comment. Please.
We just need y'all to be interacting with us.
Right,
like
right.
that's the place right there. Like real.
You know what I'm saying? Let us know, I done had a few people hit me up and say they wanted to be on the show, but all of them happen to be like my old teammates. So yeah, and I told a few of them, I was like, I don't want to turn this into the Howard show.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Well, then somebody else ought to step up. How about that?
That was the point I was getting at too. Like somebody,
listen,
if you want to be on the show,
mad.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you weren't a former athlete, if you want to be on the show, you know what I'm saying, and you know a good deal about sports, I'm be coming on here and
no. So my best friend and I had a
time
conversation last night. So my best friend and I had a conversation. She was talking about her aunt. She was like, her aunt called my best friend's husband right before the Super Bowl, and they were having this long conversation about, and she said, I was listening to my aunt, and I was like, wait a minute. She sounds like Stephanie. This is what she said. She sounds like Stephanie. She really knows. She said, I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. She said, I was like, man. I said, well, you know what? You better tell Aunt Gloria she better get on this show with us.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do this.
Come join us and kick it and talk
I would
sport.
love that. She's a football head. So
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, let's get her scheduled.
Yeah. So I'm gonna reach out to my friend and see if we can't get that on the book. See if she want to come on the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes, I would love that. So yeah. All right.
Oh, the one last one was Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So when we post videos on YouTube, they come through. You'll see the posting on Facebook. So we just appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us week in and week out. I even see it like that week that we didn't record. Folks went back and listened to old episodes because I started to see like a couple of old episodes. The numbers go up, and I'm like, oh, well, thank you.
Y'all missed us,
right? Y'all missed us.
Yes, love it.
But as always, we love you guys. We truly appreciate you. But we out. Peace.
Now put the cameras on me. 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 Put the cameras on me.